Let's talk to Jonathan in London. Let's see here. Jonathan, you're live with Eric and Seth. What would you like to talk about?
Good evening, Eric. Good evening, Seth.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm an atheist, long time atheist. My wife is a Christian, and she's been going through some rather hard times of late. And one of the things she sometimes says is, "Why am I being punished?" And I don't know how to handle that without undermining her faith. And I'm not trying to do that. But I'm trying to support. So a bit of advice would be useful.
Seth, you got anything?
I can jump in if you want.
Dude, I'm not married. I
All right, so tell me about the temperature of your relationship. Do you have conversations about God belief or the lack of, or have you sort of done an agree to disagree thing or something else? Where you at?
We don't often. It's a sort of agree to disagree. I mean, but candles start burning on particular times in front of icons, etc. And I quite enjoy visiting old churches when we're in her country, and when we do, a bunch of candles will be lit in various places. But it's not something. It's just. Yeah, it's an area of difference between the two of us, and it's not really mattered up until the last few months, when, because of various health and family deaths and things like that.
I got you. So if I'm trying to narrow this down, is it a Bible-based God belief? Is she a Christian? Something else?
Oh, yeah, she's
okay.
Christian, yeah.
So she probably then, if she believes that it's kind of her own fault, holds to this notion of original sin, right? We are all born broken. And so if some calamity happens in her life, it's some kind of moral failing on her part. You think she's drawing that conclusion?
I think we may have lost him.
Okay, well, I think we can still answer his question, even if you. I hate the idea that I can't finish with him, but if you're still listening, my friend, I think that this is a necessary conversation that doesn't have to challenge her religious belief directly. And I think you use the word "I" when you're speaking, like not your belief is damaging you. Your Bible is telling you that you were born broken and that you don't deserve, because if we look past all the happy, clappy love verses in the Christian Bible, the message really is that we are unworthy. We don't deserve. It's our fault. We live in a fallen world. It's sort of a shame game that comes back on humankind, and it causes us to blame ourselves. It's like when somebody prays for someone else and that prayer does not come to fruition, and we say, well, I just didn't have enough faith, or I need to be a better Christian. It's a blame and shame game, something that religions have done for thousands and thousands of years. I would have the conversation like this. I don't think it's your fault. I don't think this is a fallen world that is full of sin and brokenness, which is the reason that all this is happening. I think that you have value and that, you have love and friendship. I am here for you to help walk with you through these difficult times. I have every confidence that we can do this together. It helps to keep her off the defensive. And it's a reassurance to her that she is not alone, that you are right there as a partner in life with her. That would be the first thing I would try. And okay. It's possible that she will read also between the lines and say, this guy, he's sort of disagreeing with the fundamentals of my faith, but he's not speaking in language that is accusatory, and he's not blaming anybody, and he's not telling me I'm stupid. He's telling me, I love you, and I think you have value, and I got your back, and I'm right here, and let's just do this together. Let's do life together. Let's do these problems together. I think she will receive it in the spirit in which it is intended. Who knows where that conversation will lead? But at the very least, you have lifted her arms up in a very dark time in her life. and you've done so without telling her she is wrong. You're just sort of validating what she has and that she has value. That would be my approach. I don't know, Eric, does that wash at all? I mean, do you have anything better in regard to that?
Well, I think first, before I dive in, you had a lot to say, and we did get Jonathan back.
Oh, good.
And so, Jonathan, were you able to get that? What do you think of that? Does that sound applicable?
That sounds a lot like I've been handling the supportive side of things. I've been trying to do. What I'm not doing is talking about the fallen world so much as random bad luck sometimes comes in threes, and just because some things have happened in the last 12 months, the next 5 years, 10 years could be completely different.
Life is, it's kind of random, and sometimes it's very unfair. And, we see bad things happen to wonderful people, and we see horrible people who skate and get away with it. Sometimes things don't make sense. We don't see any sort of reason or method to it, but it's still life, and we have to do it together. It sounds to me like you're one step ahead of us. So my encouragement to you would be just be there for her, love her to death, and try to validate the best parts of her so that she does not blame herself. I think it's all we got.
I think that's beautiful.
One of the callers, I would just point out that November isn't over yet.
This is true. We do have one more day for the one world government to take over and destroy us all. I feel like it's wait until the very, very end, though. I don't know how we're going to squeeze it all into one day, but we still have. You're right. One more day. That said, I think the only other thing that I would offer up is that anytime it comes to dealing with grieving, with loss, with growing as a couple, couples therapy and individual therapy is always a wonderful option. Getting professional help, especially if she finds herself in a place where maybe you're too close to it. But really processing grief and loss is a process that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life, because it's something you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. And so it is never a bad option to get professional help. That said,
yeah.
Jonathan, thank you for calling in.
Take care, brother.
Yes, but